What is up, everybody? What's good? What's good? Daddy Rooster 88 coming at you with another video. So, today I wanted to do a recap of my first 6 months in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. If you've seen my other video, I did the first 90 days of my journey. So, this is going to be the 6 month version. I've got 6 months now under my belt. And still one stripe, white belt. Who knows? Maybe two pretty soon. But so far, what a ride, man! That's all I can say. Is it's been a pretty crazy wild ride so far on the 6 months. And there's a lot of things that are still happening. That's happened since the very beginning. So thus far, what I've experienced, and I've got some notes here. So if you see me looking down, I'm definitely becoming mentally stronger. Each day that goes by, each class that goes by, I do 3 trainings a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's the adult fundamentals class, 5 a.m. So that in itself is a challenge right there. Just waking up at 5 a.m. is a challenge in itself. So, stacking wins, like I talk about, that's definitely a win right there. So, making it, waking up, getting out of the house, driving down there, tired, whatever it is, we're there, 5 a.m. And there's just quite a bit of people. It's not for everybody, but for me, where I have to work, and it just works out perfect for me. So, that's been part of it. It has made me mentally stronger in that aspect, and there's also some other ways I'll explain here. As far as weight loss goes, still losing weight. It goes up, it goes down because of my strength training. So I'm still training weight strength training like 5-6 days a week. And I'm trying to, just add on to what I already have. And if weight falls off, it falls off. But I think it's mostly fat and it's getting converted into muscle. So that's a good thing. That's definitely a plus. And the longer it gets, I'm sure the more and more benefit. So if you're looking into that for fitness wise, weight loss wise, it's definitely going to happen. Just give it time. We're at the 6 month period now. And things are starting to change. It's definitely a full body workout. So if you are watching this video and you haven't started yet, just be prepared for that. I don't know how strong your core is, but you are going to need a strong core. So if you could get into that before you get started, it's definitely going to help you out. If you can work up your cardio before you get started, that's definitely going to help you out. And work on your mental toughness as well, as I mentioned before. Anything you can do to make it a little more difficult. I remember in the beginning talking about those first 3 months. It was winter time. I started in October, just before Halloween, and I think it was around the 15th. Anyways, it was cold. It was cold during that time. Our academy is in a building that's like similar to a warehouse type of building. So not a lot of insulation, metal sheeting for the walls and the roof. And it gets cold in there. There is a heater, but it gets cold where you can see your breath in the winter. And I did experience that, which made it a little bit more harder. So, there we go again with the mental toughness. Anything you could do to make it harder, it just makes your life easier after that point. So I do remember a few times in the 6 months where our instructor, he allowed us to wear a sweatshirt underneath the gi, if you chose to. You didn't have to, whatever you wanted to do. But I think I did it twice. So there was a couple of times there where it got super, super cold. and I said to myself, I wanna break a sweat, and then I'm gonna take this sweatshirt off. So that was cool. My professor was telling me how in Brazil, how they actually did that too. So I didn't feel so bad. I didn't feel like a wimp or a weakling for doing that, wussing out on it. But it is what it is. So that was the winter. So during that period of time, I was brand new. I saw, I want to say, 3 to 5 different people come in, train for a while, and then I never saw them again. So it was kind of difficult for me because there wasn't a lot of people at my level or below that I could train with. So it seemed frustrating that, well, whatever I did learn, I couldn't really put it into practice. I tried, but everybody I was training with was an upper belt or had been training for a lot longer than me. So it was basic moves for them, but it was something new to me, which I was trying to implement during our sparring sessions, but it didn't really work out. I hadn't tapped anybody out in the first 3 months, basically. But and then that brings me back to during the first 3 months, the way we were taught was from defense and escapes first. So it's kind of a Mr. Miyagi type thing where you're thinking, what the heck, when am I going to be able to choke somebody or armbar or something like that, And all credit to my professor for doing it like that, because I really appreciate it, because it taught me how to escape first without thinking about offense. And I didn't even realize it, how that was going to benefit me, but it did. So that's when I came in, we were learning takedown drills, but that quickly changed to escapes from the mount, escapes from side control, and we just kept drilling it, and I couldn't understand, like, when am I going to get to learn how to do some kind of offense? But looking back at it now, I'm glad I did learn it like that. So credit to him, and that's a good way to learn. I've heard that from other people as well, that that when they learn like that. So that all went in the first 3 months. During that time, I sparred with different people. I did, just as a review, I did sustain a rib injury, rolling with a bigger guy, way heavier, and me being a spazzy white belt, trying to do more than I probably should have, and trying to just jump out of some kind of a grip that was on me. I ended up probably injuring myself when I turned, and the person I was rolling with fell on top of my rib. So that was my first injury that I experienced. That was probably right around the 3rd month, somewhere around in there, 2nd to 3rd month. So that took a while. I had to ice it. I kept exercising through. So that's one thing I learned, is that the better conditioning you can be in, no matter what your age is, if you're lifting weights, you're doing cardio, you're stretching, you're getting blood flow to all those areas, your chances of recovery time going up is, in my opinion, your recovery time is shorter. So you can come back, you can bounce back a little bit shorter. Not as fast as somebody that's maybe 20 years old, 30, somewhere in there, teenager, whatever. They got this incredible recovery time where they could just take a beating. 1-2 days later, it's like it never happened. But me being an older person, and in my first 6 months, I did experience a lot of soreness, a lot of soreness, and in the core and in my legs and hips. You're just not used to moving in that fashion, where you have to, contort your body and move your legs up high and invert, and just trying to go into the guard where you're wrapping your legs around your opponent. That could be a task in itself, if you don't have a lot of mobility, flexibility. So definitely, if you can work on that before you get in, that would be great. But I mean, a lot of people don't, and that was me that never had a reason to do that. So it's getting better though. Update with the going in past my 6 month now. I do feel that my mobility, flexibility is getting a lot better. So yeah, so after that injury got better, it was back to normal. My cardio, which I thought was good going in, after those 3 months, I still felt like, man, my cardio is not where it needs to be because sparring, I would find myself like gassed out of breath. It's definitely a different kind of cardio that we're not used to doing. It's like I would kind of compare it to like a HIIT, high intensity training type of cardio where you're using bursts of energy, and looking, at the technique. Sometimes you conserve your energy to the right moment, and then you got to explode. So those types of things brings your heart rate up and down, and that's just something you got to get used to. And what I found, just through research, other YouTube videos, things like that, if you could kind of, that's a key word, if you could kind of replicate that, it's gonna help. I mean, I know you can't exactly replicate a jiu-jitsu roll or sparring session, but I would say sprinting, running, getting up your heart rate, getting up that pace, then coming back down, and you just keep moving and up, down, like that, something like that. Or on the bike, if you could get that bike, the air bike with the arms, and just go all out for a minute, come back down, just keep it going. I've heard that works. I've never done that, but I heard that works too. So, but I chose the sprinting HIIT, high intensity training, and come to find out here, going, into my 6 month and a little bit past now, I definitely feel my cardio is better than it was back then. So I find myself with more, my better breathing. We're done with our sparring sessions. I am tired. I am a little bit gassed, but not like I was. So, and I can only imagine as time goes by that it's going to get better. So, that kind of leads me into a thought that I have right now. It is going to get better. In the beginning, when your first 3 months, you're thinking there's a point where the first month you're like, man, this is great. You got that new factor, like this is great, this is amazing, this is a sport I've never done, it's challenging, it's new, everything's brand new. So you got that hype, that feeling, and it gets you going through at least the first month. By the second month, you're getting you're getting smashed. To put it like, you are getting smashed. You're getting into spots where you've never been before. It's difficult to breathe. What you got to do is just breathe. Learn how to breathe. Learn how to breathe through your nose. Control your breathing. Practice that outside of jiu-jitsu training. Try to breathe through your nose. You want to remain calm, because that's the way you're going to be able to think in those situations. That's what jiu-jitsu teaches you, is that remain calm in situations, stressful situations, think your way out of it, and you can get out of it. And so that makes it, the rest of your day, the rest of your life, if you keep going on, it's going to get, it has to be easier. And you're training yourself to be in these situations. We're still, past in the 3rd month. You don't know a whole lot of offense. You're getting smashed all the time. You're out of breath, but it is getting better. You don't know any submissions at that point. At least I didn't. And then so here comes springtime, and at that point in time, in my experience, we're switching now to some offensive moves. So I'm like, great. I just got my white, my stripe, my first stripe. I was ecstatic about that. And I got a renewed freshness to the class after my third month. And now we're talking offense. So I'm like, yeah, here we go. That's right. Now I got something to do. So first we learned Americana, shoulder lock, which is probably the first submission that everybody learns. And of course I'm gonna milk that whenever I can, especially on a new person that comes in, because that's my go-to submission. And learning different things, watching on the side, watching some YouTube videos, trying different things during class. And professor's teaching us armbar techniques. He's teaching us chokes. We're learning back takes. We're doing we're getting into the meat and potatoes. I mean, but actually, when you think about it, if you don't know any defense, you're never gonna get to do any offense. So, we just want to jump the gun on everything. But I mean, you could, if you just knew one move and you mastered it. That's all you need. But in our mind, we think we need 10,000 submissions. But as I experienced, even if you do know those 10,000, if you can't get to the point where you can use it, it doesn't really do you any good. So having said all that, I did sustain another rib slight injury, but this time to an upper rib. It's kind of similar to the same way. I was with a bigger guy again. And, I want to say I kind of did it to myself again. We scrambled to the feet. I kind of tried to whip around to escape. And I felt a stretch and a pull in my rib area. And I want to say some of the cartilage got pulled off. That's what it felt like. I never did get it checked out. But I definitely knew something was wrong there. So my coach went, Professor, he's good about that. If you let him know what's going on, I'm pretty sure he's seen it all before. And it's a common injury. So if you do get that, don't worry, you're not the only one in jiu-jitsu. Just look YouTube for rib injury. You're gonna see there's plenty of them in jiu-jitsu. It's just one of those things, man. I mean, what I've learned from that is that that has taught me to keep my arms in and better framed, closer to my body, not extending my arms out and having my ribs exposed so much. So in a way, it kind of helped me, to learn the hard way. But that's what I've gotten out of it, and it is better. So here we are. I just got over my second injury, and but I'm not down on myself, and things are getting better. We're learning offense, cardio's getting better. My pace of overall jiu-jitsu rolling is getting smoother. I'm not so hyper tensed up, breathing hard, and just overexerting myself at the wrong times. The more and more you roll, you realize that there's a time to rest, there's a time not to rest, and rolling in class is different from rolling in competition as well. But definitely, when you're on the top, if you want to take a quick rest, if you are going to, that's the time. Not when you're on the bottom. You need to escape when you're on the bottom. So, in my experience, that's what I've learned. So after that, I noticed, I was getting a lot more sore, and it was just we were doing more and more things. It wasn't as basic as just escaping. We're doing a lot more physical movements. We're doing more core. We're doing more different warm-up exercises. We're taking the back. We're just doing a lot of things that put your body into a place where you're gonna be sore. So especially at 50 years old, and I'm almost gonna be 51, but I don't want to use that as an excuse. But you you just can't bounce back. So having said that, I did purchase an ice bath from the Ice Pod company, and I started using that about I want to say right after the third month. And what I did was, after class, I don't have time. I got to go to work. But when I came home that day, I would take an ice bath. So that definitely helped with the inflammation and the soreness. And just between that and exercising and getting blood into those areas, it definitely helps with the recovery time. So ice bath is what I did. And get rest, eat right. Believe it or not, if you don't eat the right things, if you're eating way too much salt and things like that, you could get a lot of inflammation, and it could just slow down your recovery time, your sore muscles. But I'm at the point where I've dropped most of the weight that I want to drop, and I started adding in carbs. So in my experience in these first 6 months, I'm at the point now where if I have to train the next morning, I'm adding in some carbs at night. So I'm putting some a little bit of rice or something like that with chicken breast in the night, or some pasta a little bit. Just I know I'm going to burn that off the next morning when we train, and I'll be using those carbohydrates for energy, and it kind of resets your body. You could get stuck on the keto thing where you're just kind of, it's not really doing much. So, sometimes I feel that, you could shock your body one way or the other, back into what you need to do. I use pre-workout, and I use it before I lift weights, weight train, about 30 to 45 minutes before. And mixed with creatine, I add my own separate creatine in there. Pretty much take that every day. Every time I train, I take it. So that includes jiu-jitsu. So I got a 30-minute drive to jiu-jitsu. So on the way, as soon as I get a little ways down the road, I start drinking my supplements, and by the time I get there, it's already kicking in, and I'm used to it. So if you're not, you might have to do it a different way, but that's what I do. I've been, doing pre-workouts for a long time, and I used Bucked Up, by the way. Use my code DaddyRooster88 for 20% off. And I also recently here added in some BCAAs, amino acid, into the water. So I take a container of water with me, hydro flask, and I've put that in there recently, and it's been helping me. It's been helping me as far as hydration, recovery. It's plant-based, and I'm trying it out, and I feel, at least in my mind, that it's helping me. That's debatable. People debate on BCAAs all the time, so don't kill me in the comments on that. We're at the point now where we're talking about competition. There's some local tournaments, and there's a Jiu-Jitsu World League that comes around north and south here in California. Well, they go everywhere actually, but they're talking about doing Jiu-Jitsu World League up north, Stockton. So here I go, Mr. One Stripe 6 month guy, thinking, shoot, yeah, let's go. I'm ready. Let's test myself. Just coming off the rib injury, got this list of submissions that I'm planning on doing, and I'm feeling really good. I'm doubling up the workouts. I'm eating right. I'm feeling good, and so I decided, I'm gonna sign up. So I signed up, and it didn't go like I thought it was gonna go. Let's just say that. I got another video if you want to look at it, and it's called No Excuses. So I'll let you go look at that in my video list, and you can see what happened there. But I did record the whole day, and you'll see exactly what happened. But it's definitely a learning experience from that. So in my first 6 months, I competed. Now, do I recommend it? It all depends on the individual. That could go 50-50. People say you should, people say you shouldn't, and I think everybody's at a different stage, and there's no one set answer for that. Looking back at it now, I wish I would have waited, but at the same time, I did get something out of it. So there's no even with losing and stuff like that, you still get a lot out of it. And what they say is that you actually get more out of losing than winning because it points out your flaws. So that I actually competed in my first 6 months. So hey, what can I say? I did get I did get a medal, but it was only me and another guy in the weight division, so I'm not gonna count that. But anyhow, so I got that experience under my belt, and other than that, I got that experience, competition. I got 6 months now, and I'm still learning. We got a learning cycle. I don't know if it's like this at every school, but we've pretty much gone through every position. I mean, there's tons of different guards and stuff like that, but the basics, the core, back, side control, mount, guard, things like that. We've takedowns, stand up. I've gone through that because I was there at the time where it was like at the beginning of the cycle. I guess you could start anywhere, but so I believe we're gonna go back through it again, and we're just gonna keep adding on, and we're gonna do different things. People are coming in all the time, so like the guy that came after me, the other older gentleman, I roll with him. He doesn't know how to escape the mount all the way because he wasn't there when we were doing mount escapes. So he's got a whole different journey than I do, and that's his deal, and I have my journey, and you have your journey. And I just want to say that if you're thinking about joining a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, if you're thinking about it, I think you should at least try it, because you wouldn't be thinking about it if you didn't think you could handle it. So that's key right there. I mean, not everybody can do this. I mean, everybody physically could, but not everybody makes it, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't want to deter anybody. I'm gonna try to provide you this information in case you are thinking about it. At least you could at least have something to kind of have a picture in your mind of what's gonna happen. Does it happen the same at every school? No, it doesn't. But just keep in mind, it is gonna get better. You are gonna, you have to go through the fire to come out of the other side. It just makes you stronger. You know what I mean? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. You've heard that. It's true. I mean, you find out yourself. You find out your true self when you have adversity, put on you. So it's only gonna make you a stronger person, mentally, physically, and it's a great sport, and I like it. I'm enjoying it, and I hope I have years to come. And I'm gonna come back with another video. I don't know if I should do I'll probably do the 9-month video, and then we'll go for a year, and then we'll see, because that's gonna be interesting. But hey, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got value out of this, and I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Check me out on Instagram, on TikTok, Daddy Rooster 88, Motivate. And if you like sports content, I have Daddy Rooster 88 Sports Media, where I kind of do videography for mostly football, high school football. And hey, catch you guys on the next one. Daddy Rooster 88. Peace out.